Okay guys, this is a quick little video to introduce you to Access Database, Microsoft Access Database. We're going to open up Access Database, sorry, and we're going to do this report section here. Okay, so won't worry about inputting this extra data or these query options because we're going to run a query in order to produce a report in this section here. Okay, so need to open up Access Database. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is right there. Oops, sorry, I already have it open with the finished product. Okay, so the little icon down there, I'm going to open up Access Database. Okay, I want to create a new blank desktop database. Okay, from here, when I get this, I have the option of to save it in a specific place on my computer, and it gives me a default name of database40.accdb, which is Access Database. That's that extension there. Okay, so I want to choose my folder where I'm going to save it. For you guys, you'll be saving it on your USB keys. Okay, if you want to know where your USB key is, it is in disk E. Sorry, I don't have disk E because I don't have a USB key here, so I've just got two hard disks in my laptop, but it would appear as local disk E for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to store this on my desktop, on my desktop, and I'm going to put it in here, your year 10 access, nope, not lesson 1. I want to go into lesson 2. Okay, I'm just going to rename it. Now in the class I told you guys to name it Happy Holidays Database. I'm not going to name that because I've already created Happy Holidays Database and it will create a conflict. So I will just put this in as Access Homework. Note how I have an underscore there, okay? It's really good practice for all database, all applications to put underscores when you have a break between two words. It'll prevent any sort of errors in your database. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. Now I want to hit Create, and voila, I have a new database. Okay, so next thing I want to do is I want to close this table. Okay, I want to close this table, and I want to get rid of it. Okay, because I am going to create a new table. So the first thing I need to do is import some data. Okay, for the purposes of this homework, we imported an Excel sheet. Okay, and I believe I have it located. Oh, sorry, let's just go back. So, file name, browse. I can see where I've got my Excel sheet. And it was 18.04, I believe, was the name of the sheet. And I think it is here in your year 10 access. Yep. Lesson 2, yep. Yeah, so this was the Excel folder that I asked you guys to import. Okay, so we're going to import that. Let's remove this. Import the source data into a new table in the current database. Yes, please. I don't want to link it to anything. Nope. Creating a new database. Okay, so hit that. All right, so I only want to import sheet 1 for the purpose of this exercise. Okay. I'll hit next. Okay, first row contains column headings. Yep, sure enough, that's my first row. Those are my column headings. Okay, or the headings of my fields, as we call them in Access Database. Okay, field name. Now from here, I can change the data type for each field, but I'm going to do that when I actually import my table to show you guys how to do that. Okay, so do that. Let Access add the primary key. Yes, on the IGC SE test, they will tell you whether to let Access add the primary key or whether you're going to choose your own primary key. For this purpose, we're going to let Access add the primary key. Remember, the primary key is a unique ID that Access is going to give every single record that I put in. You can see the primary keys here. Quite basic. They run just numerically 1, 2, however many I have. Okay, let's call this holiday. Okay, and yep, don't want to bother saving. Okay, so I've got my first table imported. Okay, now, once I've got that table imported, okay, I'm going to click on the top. I'm going to double click on the top of the file right there, or I can go into View and change my views. Data sheet view, I'm in data sheet view right here, right now. Just lists all my fields and all my records. Okay, once again, the columns are the fields, the rows are the records. Okay, I want to go into design view. From here, I can change the data type. For my primary key, auto number, I want auto number, access change. That's staff, we want it to be short text, yeah. Date, we want it to be date time. Booking, we want it to be text, that's fine. Week, we want to be a number, yeah. Price, we want to change that to currency. Okay, so right here, if I click on that, I get this little combo box, and I'm going to change that to currency. Okay, number, we want it to be number, that's no problem. And tour, we want it to be a Boolean value, which is in Access known as a yes/no value. Okay, so once I do create major changes to my tables, queries, whatever, I want to hit save. So I make sure I don't lose any. That's fine. That's just telling me I'm saving some of my data from long text to short text. That's no problem. So I hit yes. Okay, so that's saved, which is great. Okay, let's go back to the instructions. Here are my instructions. Okay, so now it says I want to produce a report which has a page orientation of portrait, fits on a single page, and you can see here's all the instructions for this report. We're just going to do this report, all the stuff here for this report. Okay, we're not going to worry about this other stuff for the other report. Okay, we're just, for this purposes of this, we're just going to concentrate on these. Okay, so before I create a report, I have to create a query. Okay, and then I can create the report based on that query. Okay, so let's do this. Let me create a new. No, I've still got time. I've got 7 minutes. So yeah, let me create a report. Sorry, not a report, a query. Okay, so we'll go back to database, access database. Okay, now I like to, if I'm doing something new, going from a table to a query or report, I just like to close my tables or my previous queries or whatever it is that I have. So I'm going to close my holiday table. Don't worry, it's still there. Okay, I can bring it up, but I'm going to close it just so I don't make any mistakes. Okay, now I'm going to create a query. Okay, so I go to Create tab. Let's use the Query Wizard. Okay, I want a simple query wizard. Click on that. Okay, so I'm going to get all of my query information. In other words, I'm going to look up all the information that I want from the table that is holiday, this table here. I've only got one table. In the test, you'll see you'll have more than one table, but for now I only have one table. Now, I can individually select each field with an arrow here, or I can just pull them all in with the double arrow. For this purposes, I'm going to pull them all in, and we'll work from there. Details, show every field, yep. Okay, holiday query, yep. Okay, great. Now, I've created my first query. You can see it pops up here. All right, and same thing, I can view it differently. This is my data sheet view, and then my data sheet view right here. Now I want to go into the design view. Okay, so when I go into design view, I can see I've got all my fields listed here. I could move my fields if I wanted to by this area. In other words, I could replace staff with one of the other fields, week, price, number, whatever. Okay, if I don't want my queries to be, or sorry, if I don't want these fields to be visible when I actually run my query, I can uncheck these boxes and they will be invisible. Okay, just a quick look. So I uncheck staff and holiday, sorry, staff and date. So when I run a query, these won't be visible. The way we run a query is you go up here to this big exclamation mark, we hit run, and as you can see, staff and date are no longer visible in this query. Okay, so I'll go back to design view, and I'm going to put those checks back in so I can see it. Okay, in the next video, I'm actually going to create the query that we're going to run a report off of. In other words, follow these instructions here to create it. Okay,